He's electrocuted her.
He electrocuted her.
Oh my
That
god.
whole flight,
The whole
I was like, it was hurting so bad.
But you can see
Oh yeah.
So let's start at the top. How did you originally get into aviation, and where are you in your aviation journey now?
Originally I got into aviation when I was 16. I went and did like at FIT, like their little program, went up with an instructor, flew for a little bit, but
Okay.
I had to do like a career day and pick like a career, and I had no idea what I wanted to do in high school, so I was just like jobs that allows me to like travel, pays a lot of money, go to exotic places.
Yeah,
And then first thing came up was flight attendant. I was like, nope, not doing that. And then I saw pilot. I was like, all right. And then I didn't know you could do like flight school. My buddy was doing flight school, and I was like, oh no way, you can just do that. He's like, yeah, you can start right now. I was like, so then I started when I was 16.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you started early on.
Yeah, and then now I'm at 15, 50 plus hours, 62 hours turbine, 50 hours multi. I'm waiting for the next charter job, or honestly prefer like 91. Could do my
Yeah,
airlines, but
corporate.
yeah, I'd rather do corporate to be honest.
Yeah, Part 91 is more fun than 121. There's so many more like rules and regulations that they have to follow.
Yeah.
But I'm also not talking from experience, so
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that eventually I want to do like contract work, where I just already have all the type ratings. I'm like, oh, you want to do a job today? Yeah, sure.
yeah, a little bit more
$6
like
grand.
freedom and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So early on, what did building hours actually look like for you?
Early on, it was just a lot of discovery flights taken up by friends. I'm like, hey, you want to go fly? You ever flown before? And I go up and do like stalls with them, emergency descents, all the fun stuff, steep turns. And then from there, like it was crazy. I just got my wisdom teeth removed like 4 days prior. And I was texting my buddy that worked for a survey company. I was like, dude, I wish I was doing what you were doing, bro. Like, 'cause I was doing my double I, and I was like, I really don't want to do this. Like, this isn't what I want to do, but I'll do it if you want me to. I prayed to God, and then the next day, I swear, I got a call from my buddy. He's like, dude, the boss is in town. Go meet him at Crackle Barrel and do an interview. Passed the interview, and then the next day they shipped me out. I was gone for like 2 years, just flying around.
Nice. So that was a survey flying?
Yep.
Nice. What did you, was it pipelines or what were you surveying?
Mainly, I don't know exactly, I don't know how much I can say, but just like roofing companies, middle of nowhere facilities. I'm not going to say what or who, but that kind of like actual picture. It's like more in depth than the satellite, so we can actually get a lot better imagery than they can.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun.
Nice. Where did you fly all for that?
Everywhere.
Everywhere?
All over the United States and Canada. I was in Canada not last year, I guess 2 years ago, when all the fires were breaking out in Alberta.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. And then,
How did the haze affect the flying?
oh, I don't know how much I want to get into, but it was, I definitely had to push back on some of the management for trying to get us to do unsafe stuff, but
Gotcha.
we got it done eventually, but it was pretty bad. Like, my eyes were burning, my lungs were filled with smoke, and I was coughing up black stuff.
Nice. That's not fun. What did that kind of look like day to day? Like, did they just tell you, hey, you're flying to this place, and then you got on the plane and then you go, or what does that look like?
Well, when you're doing like a new project, you finish your project, they'll send you, all right, here, this is where you're going, I need you there, and then you're going to start on these exact lines. I'm like, okay, and then they just let you figure out we have like planned routes and like places that's already been vetted and planned out to do like maintenance or fuel. So we just plan my route, I do that. And I don't know, I'm really prepared because like I did most of my training in Florida, and there's not mountains, there's not huge obstacles, crazy air. I mean, there's crazy airspace, but compared to these other places, is nothing.
Yeah, when you have to look out for mountains and traffic, that's like two factors that you're like contending with. That on top of air traffic controllers, like I've heard sometimes they might like vector you into a mountain, and it's like on you to tell them like, hey, like we can't accept that vector.
That and like Yeah, I would have to fly at like the same altitude as these mountains that I'm flying in between and take the photos. So
Yeah.
it's like you really got to plan out how you're gonna turn, because you got to turn back around. You're just basically lawnmower in the sky. You got to do another 180.
Yeah. So, what's one of those moments from survey flying that kind of like sticks with you the most?
Honestly, there was a lot of fun, like having to work different problems as far as like the longest cross country I've ever done in my life is like from the top of Canada all the way back down to Iowa and all over the country. The Rockies, so I saw a bunch of stuff. So it was a lot of fun. I didn't really get to see the country as in depth until then.
Okay.
And I still would choose Florida over wherever else I went.
Don't like the cold?
I don't mind the cold, but I would not live in the cold. I'll go snowboard, but I'm not living there.
Gotcha. You'll go visit the snow and the mountains and that stuff, but you don't want to have to contend with the character building on it.
But I do miss the hikes, though. Florida doesn't have cool hikes.
Yes. But they have beaches.
They do have
Florida
beaches.
has beaches. Was there ever a point where you questioned the path that you were on, or did you always feel like you were stacking towards something bigger?
I think every pilot has that moment, even though they will or will not admit it. I think we all get to that point, and I got the greatest advice a couple weeks ago from one of my mentors, because I was trying to get into aerial firefighting, still trying to do it.
Okay.
I need more multi-time though. But he was like, aviation is like a door at the end of the hallway, and you don't know when the door is going to open. It opens up randomly, but while the door's closed, continue to work towards it, and then, when the opportunity presents itself, jump right through the door. So you need to be prepared to every now and then be like, okay, it sucks I'm not flying, but I'll fly as much as I can, work some side jobs, get to the next point, And anyone that's trying to do survey, you need to apply in the summertime or in September, before September, 100%. If you're waiting too long, you're not going to get your spot because they've already hired everyone.
At what point did you realize flying didn't have to be the only way that you worked in aviation? Because you said that you do charter sales, or you buy and sell airplanes for flight schools.
Flight schools, pretty much anybody. I just got a call yesterday. This guy wants an Apache commander, and he needs to go to Guatemala. He has a flight school there. He was one of my buddies' friends. But
okay.
it kind of just happened. I was just like, it started with Pace Morby. He's on YouTube. He does a bunch of Subject 2 deals. But the guy that he made a video with, his name is Chris Does Deals. Great shout out. Love that guy. I have his contacts. I always chat him up every now and then. But he's an airline pilot, DPE, AMP.
Okay, he does everything.
Yeah, he has 20 aircraft he leases out to flight schools. It makes a ton of money that way, and I was like, oh wow, that's really lucrative. I want to get into that. So I started messaging him about that. We talked a lot, and I finally got back from Canada, and then I was still doing a bunch of research while I'm buying my plane, and then I found Zach Purvis, another great shout out. If you ever need buy, sell, lease, hit him up. And then he's like, yeah, man, I'll help you out. He showed me a bunch of the ropes, got his course, highly recommend it. And then from there, I was like, oh, wow, there's so many different ways I can do this, because I already kind of know everything about the planes to an extent. Obviously, I'm not a mechanic, but I've experienced a lot. So, and then just helping other people through the process, because if you're not going to hire someone, at least do a pre-buy, please. Please do a very thorough pre-buy.
I'm getting distracted by all the meowing.
But yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. Then he reached out and he put something out about oh, I need more aircraft sales guys. We're going to start making the aircraft dealership for planes. So I hit him up, and then just been doing that. And then another opportunity to do jet charter sales from Instagram is crazy. It's just the people I meet through Instagram.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, you already know everything. Come on board. The only difference is you're going to go from the aviation aspect to what the client's point of view is.
Yes.
What do they want? It's an experience, and you want to get them the best deal and everything, source the market as fast as possible, get them the absolute best deal they can get with everything they want. Every client's different of what they want,
Yeah.
Some people don't want a short plane.
What's your viewpoint of social media playing a part in aviation nowadays? You said that you got a bunch of contacts through social media.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good thing? That's a bad thing?
I think it's a tool. You can use it how you want. Sometimes If you don't use it properly, it'll bite you. But I think it's a tool everyone should use and use it for good. And I just reach out to people I didn't think would ever respond to me, and you'd be surprised who does.
Yeah, it's like the perfect rejection therapy. So just like DM people out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I was just like, hey man, I really love your content, and do you have any advice for me if if you were to do it again, blah blah blah.
Yeah. So you manage a fleet for a Part 61 flight school. What does that actually involve that most people don't realize?
So much more. Like, you gotta be prepared to just adapt nonstop, because like things happen, planes break, small parts break. It's not a big deal. It's just how you deal with it. You know what I mean? I get my mechanics in there to fix everything whenever I need it, pretty much.
Yeah.
They're very good at it. You know, it's a little bit of a hurdle, but having a couple different planes as options definitely helps. And I'm just trying to help people get their licenses for as cheap as possible. Well, I should say more as affordable as possible.
Okay.
And not go through the hassle, because of some of these like 141 schools, no one listens to me when I'm like, dude, are you gonna go to college? You're like, no. I'm like, don't do 141. I'm like,
Yes.
unless you're not doing absolutely nothing else, then maybe do it. But even then, I tell you don't. But do 61. You can work a job, 2 jobs, still fly whenever you need to. Go with an instructor that's chill. Then get your hours, get your PPL.
Yeah, I think it depends, like, on the person, too. Like, 141, for sure, if you're going for the college experience. Part 61, if you're more like an exponential learner and you don't have as much free time. Some people need, like, that 141 structure, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it, my only advice is go get your private pilot license before you do it, and stop there. Don't get your instrument, because you have to get your instrument in your commercial 141 in order to get the 1,000, 1,200, hour rule.
Yeah. How did managing aircraft change the way that you look at airplanes and operations?
I have a lot more respect for, I've always respected all the planes that I fly, but a lot more respect for other people's planes, just because it's like,
you can tell about a person about how they take care of their airplane.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like little things, like I had a Century for 5 years, never broke it, perfectly good condition. I leave it in the plane just to I don't charge for it, just like situational awareness. I come back, my stuff's broke, and I'm like, I just gotta admit, renters don't care because they don't own it. They'll never own the plane. They're just there to get their hours, get in and out. I understand, but it's just like,
yeah.
I have a lot more respect for people that, lease and rent out the planes. It also gets you thinking in a different way. Like, if you're going to rent it out to a flight school, like, I wouldn't worry too much about the interior to an extent.
Yeah. Yeah, like, eventually I do want to get this interior redone, but, like, I want to make sure that the airplane's operating correctly. So I've owned her for, like, about, like, a year. Avionics work wonderfully. There's just, like, a few little quirks, like, here and there that just kind of, like, pop up over time.
I think every plane has it.
Yeah. She unfortunately really needs a bath because we've been flying around Florida, so there was a bird that kind of decided to pick up a spot on her tail, so there's like a couple little stains there, but we'll get her cleaned off soon. What surprised you the most about the business side of aviation?
What surprised me the most is the paperwork. Oh my
gosh, yeah.
Non-stop taxes to keep up with. It's not that big of a deal. I think with anyone that's like an entrepreneur or like business mindset, like, I just kind of jumped into it and I learned as I go, and I just, I hired some people that knew better than me, and then they showed me how to do my taxes, and I was like, okay, thank you, I got it the next time. I do it myself now, so.
Yes. Trying to figure out things the first time around is usually the hardest.
Yeah.
But then once you get it, you get it.
Yeah, and then like you'll try things out, and like I would sell like 100-hour blocks, and these people would be like 2 days before they would cancel on me. I didn't require deposits, but now I require deposits every time, because it's just like you took that time away from someone that could have been flying it for that whole week. That's
true. Yeah. All right. Do you think understanding aircraft ownership and sales gives pilots an edge long term?
Goodbye.
Hello, goodbye.
I think it definitely gives you an edge as far as like managing risk and managing multitasking all the time. And like as a pilot, you're not just a pilot. You're a lawyer. You're a medical examiner to an extent, a
You got
therapist
a
to
little
yourself.
elevator music going on in the back.
Turn it off.
Oh, somebody actually making a serious call.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to report like a left final. Is that different from right final? Alright, let's go back to the question. Alright, do you think understanding aircraft ownership and sales gives pilots an edge long term?
And like sales and like managing businesses or just in general?
Yeah, sales and managing business, yeah.
I think it definitely gives you an edge as far as having to deal with multiple tasks at the same time. And whenever something pops up, you know, you're able to pivot. You're not going to be stuck. Okay, it's a small hurdle. What can we do to fix it? All right, let's move on. All right, I'm definitely grounding the plane. I'm not flying with this, that. You know what I mean? I always try to keep that, like, understanding with all the pilots that fly the plane. I'm like, have you seen anything? You tell me. You know what I mean? I'm going to look at it. Or, like, one thing that was really annoying is the RPM gauge on our Cherokee is completely fine. It, like, they did the whole run-up. Everything's fine. But there's these two lights that flash red if it's a certain setting, and I was telling them that they canceled the flight over like little red buttons, but I was like,
and it wasn't that big of a deal, but yeah.
It wasn't a big deal at all. You just click it like that. I was telling them, and it turns it off. Like it's just a setting, and they canceled. I was like, all right. I mean, you know what? If they want
You
to
call out 91.205 and be like, hey, it's not part of the requirements, like.
Exactly, and also like you just told me the RPMs are perfect and fine. I was telling them it's a setting. Like I'm not. It's just a setting.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they're not comfortable. It's fine, but it was just funny to go back over with them. And later on, I'm like, look, the buttons, and they're like, oh. You know, you live and you learn as a PPO. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Better be more cautious, I guess, to an extent.
Okay. Yeah. Looking ahead, what parts of aviation are you most excited to lean into next?
Definitely getting to the corporate jet business as far as like flying, and then the next pivot I want to do is there's a lot of these older pilots and business owners that own like skydiving operations, different kind of 135s. They're trying to get out of the business. They want to retire.
Yeah.
Thinking about buying this skydive operation. I'm just gonna work out the terms and stuff like that, and then just take over, streamline it, pay him a monthly check every month. And then,
Okay. So while other people are like buying like laundromats and like vending machines, you're like, I want to buy this skydiving company.
yeah, 100%. I mean, don't get me wrong. Eventually, I want to get some laundry businesses and all those more like recession-proof.
Yeah. Yeah. The boring businesses. Yeah.
100%. I mean, those are worth it.
Yeah. That'd be so cool to own a skydiving company. I never really thought about that.
There's so many different ways of doing it. It's in New Jersey, actually. I'm really tempted. I want to get that one, and then I mean, I want to own a bunch of different businesses, but we'll start with that.
Start there, see where it takes you. If someone watching wants to get into aviation but doesn't know what path to take, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to go book a discovery flight at your local flight school immediately if you haven't done so. If you already went for your flight, now it's, you know, got to pick your path between 61 and 141. I'm a big advocate for 61, but if your parents are going to make you go to college and do all that, please go save them some money and go get your private pilot before you do that. And save yourself 2 or 3 years. Because I don't know what the program is, I never did it, but I know people that, like 2 or 3 people that did 141 and they didn't get their PPL until 150 hours in. I'm like, you're getting robbed. You're getting robbed at that point. Like, it's either the instructor's not good and he's not helping you retain the information, or, you know, it's just like with 141, you can't move on to the next thing until you get that thing that you're working on. With 61, we can bounce around and like you go off of what you know and work on. Okay, you're really good at this, but you know, you're messing up this. Let's go back here. You see how we're doing that? All right, and then we'll go back into steep turn, slow flight, all that stuff. We can pivot a lot more than 141, and you can actually, you know, have a job and make money while you're doing 61 too.
Yeah, you can actually have like a little bit of a quality of life versus like 141. I feel like you have to sell your soul for a couple of years and then.
Yeah, no, 100%. If you don't have a girlfriend or a significant other or need money, and do 141. I mean, the only time I understand There's, like I said, like college. Go to college, get your degree, try to get out 1,000 hours, but do your PPL before you go. You'll save so much money.
Alright, very last question then. If you could go back and give yourself advice at the very beginning, what would it be?
I would give him the hallway story about the door opening and closing, but I would tell him, just keep on your path. An opportunity will present itself. Be ready to jump through that door and continue to keep learning, growing, reach out to people, go fly as much as possible.
Okay, so keep stacking your hours, stacking your experience until that door finally opens.
100%. And for these CFIs that are out there, like, oh, I can't find a job. Everyone wants double I, MEI, 2,500 hours of freaking dual instruction. Just go find someone with the plane. Go to the airport, find someone with the plane, and see if you can go instruct them or instruct out of the aircraft. Go to like flight clubs; those are perfect too.
Yeah, flight clubs are a lot of fun.
Get the hours that way, and then if you want to go to a bigger flight school to do the rest of your time, go for it. But to actually get your foot through the door, that's the best way. Like I didn't have no one else in my family as a pilot, so I kind of had to just go with the flow, learn on the top. But if I had to go back and be like, you got your CFI, don't worry about all this other stuff. The requirements are ridiculous. Stuff that's like, I want double I, MEI, 250 hours dual gamut before we hire you. I'm like, how are you supposed to start?
Yeah, I think getting all of those ratings is good because then you have them, and then if you have somebody who has like a multi-engine plane, you can be like, oh yeah, I can instruct you in it. But like, at the same time, I'm good with just my commercial rating and flying around the country and getting experience and hours that way, so.
Yeah, 100%. There's so many different ways of doing it.
Yes.
So many different ways.
Alright, well, thank you. This was
a pleasure.
fun. That was all the questions, yeah.
Awesome. Hey guys, we're back. Rebecca's got one more question. She was getting electrocuted earlier, so she's in the back now.
Yeah, my headset was electrocuting my ears, so we're back here with the David and Clark's. But I wanted to ask you what it's like working as Secret Service for Mr. President and the C-150.
Oh my gosh, that is such a crazy story. I was actually going there to meet a corporate pilot to like discuss they were like hiring somebody, but crazy story. He told me not to come. He accidentally got into like a car wreck, and I was like, oh, and I was already at the hold chart, but I was like, I have a feeling everything is gonna work out. So I just went over there. I didn't like say let's still meet up. I was like, hey, like, I was going to hang out for the day. If you want to meet up, I know you're going through a lot, so no worries, no pressure. But so I was hanging out there, went to a cigar lounge, and then I come back, and then everyone's like tagging me in videos. I'm like, what's up? And then Blake he made like the first little Trump video without the full outfit on. And then I was like, dude, let's collab, let's redo it. And then a couple weeks later,
make it bigger, make it better.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then he went back, he went balls to the wall, full outfit, everything, and then I have so much other footage that I haven't edited yet, but I need to. But he blew up. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he was really funny when he was doing that. When he was like, the guy's doing his run up, still doing his run up.
Yeah, he's hilarious. I gotta film some more with him, but we just sold that Air Force 150. I know where it's at. I can still use it, but
yeah, that's so sad. I think I saw it in somebody else's social media profile the other day. So
yeah, I was like, what the heck?
Air Force 150, check it out.
Dude, I made that thing famous.
Yeah.
Blake did too, obviously.
Yeah.
I gotta meet up with him. We gotta do more videos. Gotta see what he's up to.
Perfect. Yeah, I tried to link up with him, but his manager said he was busy while we were here, so unfortunately we couldn't get him in. But that would have been really cool. I wanted to ask him a lot of like fun facts about Air Force One and stuff. So
he's at Tampa, St. Petersburg, for the most part. He was going through a lot. Some medical stuff happened, but he's doing better now, so that's good.
Well, at least he didn't get electrocuted while flying.
Yeah.
Did a landing while getting electrocuted and wind gusting something.
Yeah, you have a really good poker face. I did not know you were in pain. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like to bother people unless I feel like they need to be bothered. And we made it on the ground okay, so it's okay.
Let me know next time.
I will.
But no, I'm actually doing another... I'm going to do another video. Maybe this will be like a foreshadow this weekend with I don't know if you know who D'Lo is. He's like he's a little person. He's really cool.
Okay.
And we're gonna go up and fly. I'm gonna let him fly for a little bit, do some maneuvers, film some other stuff. But I was thinking about doing an emergency, like act like the engine went out, pull the idle, and do that. We'll see how that goes. I'm just a little worried I might scare him too much, so I'm gonna see if I can get approval from his manager before that, of course, but everything's okay.
Or you can also do like the 0G flight, you know, where like people are holding things in their hands and then they go up and...
I love doing those, but those are so bad for the engine. It's so bad.
True. Yeah, I know. I haven't done any of this.
Don't hold it for too long. I held it for a while. I'm not gonna say exactly how long, but.
Thank you guys for watching Conversations in the Cockpit. This is my friend Ethan. Thank you for coming and flying with me and talking a little bit about your aviation experience.
It was my pleasure. I appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Welcome back, guys. We are on the final approach course for the ILS 9er right at Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport.